Have you heard of a little title called Galgun Double Peace? The pervert simulator where slapping a girl's butt is an option to help her get out of a window? The game where hordes of underage girls want to f you in the after stepping on your The game where you can casually look at a schoolgirl's undergarments and then make her all while in the comfort of your pedo cave? Yeah, I'm sure you've heard about that game. Let's instead talk about Galgun Double Peace, the rail shooter, where you do some of that while actually fulfilling the rather tame objective of finding true love. Because yeah, that's what this game is about in a nutshell. You take on the role of Hodai Kudoki, a typical second-year high school student and a parent-only guy at his private academy. Hodai is the target of Ekuro, an apprentice angel performing a practical exam who becomes distracted by the sight of the demon Corona and fires a cupid arrow at him that is 32 times the potency of a normal shot. Consequently, Hodai becomes irresistible to every female at the school, save for his childhood friends Shinobu and Maya, and the school store proprietor Aoi. He must now confess to the one girl he loves or be doomed to never receive affection from anyone or anything again. The conflict is simple, and the execution of the narrative is entertaining, even if it sometimes leans a bit too heavily on established anime tropes. The game contains branching paths that change who your crush is, what specific events happen, and sometimes which areas of the school you'll visit, but you'll be hitting the same beats for the most part. Hodai, and by proxy you, the player, must cut through waves of ladies on the prowl for the D by using what's known as a pheromone shot to pacify them as you move about the school's grounds on predetermined routes. The left analog stick is used to position the targeting reticule, while square fires blasts. R1 performs a zooming maneuver, which is good for seeing through environmental objects and clothes, and allows you to find girls who are hiding and numerous secrets on your path. L1 slows down a reticle, but there isn't really a need for this feature, considering the default speed is just right, and is almost perfect for targeting specific body parts required for one-hit KOs anyway. Galgun pulls from Sega's playbook with a hit system similar to that of Virtua Cop's, known as Ecstasy Shot. Each girl has a weak point out of 4 designated that will give them max euphoria with only one shot, and you aim at the head, chest, waist, or legs, an onomatopoeia appears, signifying that is the girl's weakest spot. You receive a bonus of sorts for maintaining a combo, or by quickly dispatching girls, but I didn't find the bonus to be too large, and that may be because it would make achieving the highest rank of Godlike a bit too easy. Something that does make increasing your score, or multi points here, easier is completing the numerous requests from girls to find the craziest of things, from photos to panties to other girls. The school paper is even chasing a ghost story, which turns out to be true. Ghost Girl is best girl. Not once did she try to attack me. I choose you. At the end of each level, your skill is graded based on speed, damage taken, and the accuracy of your shots, and your rank increases as you accrue MP. I've completed the game quite a few times at this point, and I can't tell you what the rank itself is even for, aside from maybe unlocking the various personality stat combinations for Hodai. These stats determine what you can say to each crush during the various conversation segments that occur during the story mode, and they can be cultivated by purchasing items from Aoi at the store, or successfully giving girls euphoria in Doki Doki mode. Doki Doki mode itself involves pressing triangle and selecting girls on the screen to pacify without pressure from outside forces, like time or other girls. It acts as a screen clearing bomb, affects the various stats either positively or negatively, depending on the girl selected, and is ultimately a complete waste of time, considering it's much easier to simply raise your stats using items. The choices you make during conversation segments impact your crush's overall affection towards you, which influences your chances of getting a good ending, or even meeting the girl at all during the final sequence. There's more than one right answer to a situation, so even if you don't have a good combination of statistics, you still have a shot of answering well. At the same time, there are wrong answers, which will actually reduce your affection percentage. Strangely, there are some times when the best choice is something out of left field, and trial and error will be your friend here. There are also other events that require you fire at various floating icons on a girl's body to achieve a specific goal, like pulling Maya from a trap or rubbing a demon attracting ointment on the sisters' bodies. The actual actions performed in conjunction with the shooting here involve touch controls on either the DualShock 4 touchpad or the Vita's touchscreen. Naturally, the touch controls are better on the Vita, and I found at least one instance on the PS4 version where they didn't even work. If you perform poorly, you lose affection, once again impacting your chances of getting a good ending. The sections themselves are fine, but I feel like I could have done just as well without them. That also goes for Final Doki Doki mode, where you just stare at the girl to fill up a bar. Considering there's a boss fight right before these, why include it? I mean, the fights with the girls are actually entertaining and serve a similar purpose anyway, even if they're a bit easy most of the time. So you may have been watching the video and felt the game's visuals are kinda dated. I won't say that you're wrong. Textures look really washed out when viewed up close, character animations are canned, and there aren't a whole lot of effects aside from hearts splashing everywhere. All that said, the game is definitely a step up graphically compared to the original, but the resolution isn't as high and the character outlines are harsher. Plus, it's great that the game runs at 60 frames per second most of the time on the PS4, so aiming and shooting, even without the PS Move controls of the first game, is easy. I can't say the same about the Vita version, whose frame rate defaults below 30 frames per second and dips as soon as a single character model is generated. It's a bit more difficult to perform quick and precise shots, and I find myself scoring lower because of the reduced frame count. A slight reduction in resolution or polygon count could have fixed this, and it probably would have been the superior version, given the better implementation of touch controls and the portability factor. As is, it's hard to recommend it unless the Vita is all you have. So now that I've talked about the things that I care about, let's discuss the elephant in the room, the sexual themes. I don't care. Seriously, this is a fan service oriented game aimed at a specific demographic of young guys and anyone else into the harem genre. I don't feel that it matters that the girls are underage because they're not real, so after playing it, I don't feel like a pedophile or want to pick up underage girls since, as an adult, I like to think I can separate reality from fiction. My honest opinion is that this is nothing more than an interesting and fantastical concept that turned into a good rail shooter, despite a few flaws, that carries with it a surprising amount of depth. It's worth a purchase on PS4 if you're into the shooter genre, though you can always check out the demo if you're still on the fence. すごい! いい感じで揺すられて